Hi, I'm Claire Groves from Groves Family Funeral Directors. Now, do you know what is not okay? Not knowing where your loved one is. When someone dies, families put their trust in a funeral director, and that trust is sacred. You should always know where your loved one is resting. Not roughly, not somewhere in the area, but exactly where. Sadly, I hear far too many stories of people who are left in the dark. Families who aren't told whether their mum, dad, or even their child is in the hospital mortuary, at the funeral home, in a holding depot miles away, or even in the same county. I mean, imagine that, not knowing where the most important person in your life is. That is not care, and that is not respect. I know this firsthand. I used to work for a corporate funeral director, and I was one of the few staff members who actually told families the truth about where their loved one was. And all too often, that meant admitting that they weren't even in the same town. I can't tell you how many times I've had to deal with the shock, the anger, and the upset. And it was completely understandable and justified. Nobody should ever be put in that position. Now though, running our own funeral home, I can't tell you how many families have said how reassuring and comforting it is to know that their loved one is here with us. Some have told me that they didn't want to visit, but they still came and stood outside our funeral home early on a Sunday morning, because just knowing their loved one was right through that door brought them so much peace. And that is what transparency does. Peace of mind doesn't come from vague answers. It comes from knowing, from being able to picture them safely resting, and from having the choice to see for yourself if that's what you need. It is your right to ask, and it is your funeral director's duty to answer. So please don't ever feel awkward about questioning your funeral director. You are not being difficult. You are being a loving, protective family member, and that is exactly what your loved one deserves.